We OG, oh no, G. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Rooms is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, is my guy for real, bro? Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, lock it in the seal. Merlin, I got balls of steel. Nookies on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. Started Satoshi's nothing above me. Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution, ayy. Bitcoin is the one, no substitution, ayy. With Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystems. What's up, guys? We had an amazing show for you guys today. We are live for another Ordinal hour, and it is amazing because today is Friday, end of the week, end of a very, very boring week for Bitcoin. A lot of like data news this week. You had the CPI, the PPI. You had Jerome keeping the rates the same. So a lot of very flatness. I feel a lot of boringness. Not really going on. The S&P is at an all-time high because of NVIDIA. I was looking through a lot of that stuff, and I realized, like, it's only the tech stocks that are moving over there. Like, nothing else is really at an all-time high besides a few of the tech stocks. And I think that's going to kick over soon. I think a lot of money is going to come out of those stocks, kind of go into everything else, which basically lets money go into the Bitcoin ETF. And we got a lot to talk about today. Bitcoin Magazine has a really good idea for the 210,000 Bitcoin that the U.S. holds. We're going to get into, the outflow of the Bitcoin spot ETF, and we found the top 80 Bitcoin ETF holders. We're going to get into that. Then we got for the news for today, we got KuCoin Futures says something about dog to Leonidas. So that was pretty funny. Let's see, a Bitgenie reached the 31 million in TVL. We're going to talk about that. Can bank pass dog? We'll get into that. And a little bit about the Royals, DMT stuff. We'll get into that a little bit as well. But without further ado, I'm bringing my partner here, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man? TGIF. The weekend has arrived.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's Friday. It's a busy day for us. We got a bunch of meetings and stuff after this. We will have Jack Lew on later today of Bank. But speaking of Bank, Bank is running, man, and it is not stopping.
No, it's not. And the further I get into what they're doing, the more I'm feeling sad that I faded it in the beginning. Like I said, you're gonna miss some, you're gonna get some. I'm really excited about the episode that we're gonna record tonight. To have Jack Lew on the show for the first time, I think it's gonna clear up a lot of stuff from my end. And hey, look, you got people in the space that are really jumping on this narrative, right? You got people like Axie Made, which has been in the space for a while, big bitmap person. And so, yeah, we'll dive a little bit further into that once we get to the BAMP, banner and talk if it can pass dog, because I think that it has a pretty legit shot. Maybe not right away, but
Yeah.
eventually, if things play out the way they think that they will.
Real quick though, do you think like so right now, you know, Feiyu is past dog, right? But we don't think it is, right? But
Yeah.
that's the same situation for BAMP. Because you know, if you do the fully diluted market cap, yeah, I think it'll pass dog. But do I think the diluted market cap, the ones that are already out and running, will that pass dog? Probably not. Because we talked about it yesterday. It's only at like a $21 million market cap. What's out there now, what's in circulation, not held by the team or locked up or whatever, however you want to say it. Because in Bitcoin we can't lock things up like that. There's no smart contracts to do that. So just to stay on that for one more minute, do you think that that matters, the fully diluted,
Well,
when the
I
team
think the
holds
difference,
90%?
yeah. So the difference between BAMP and Feiyu is that we know what BAMP's plans are, right?
Yeah.
And we don't know what Feiyu's plans are. Like,
Yeah.
they're being very mysterious about it. They're not giving us information that we need. So we can speculate harder on BAMP than we can Feiyu, right? And
Yeah.
so with BAMP, we also have to know that, like, with their plans that they've given out is that, like, the pre-mine is going towards rewards, for NUSD holders. And so we're going to get a lot more clarity on all of this tonight. But the actual market cap versus the fully diluted, of course, it's a lot smaller right now. But if this thing catches any momentum, you got to think about market caps that took off, that were governance tokens of stable tokens last cycle. Like, what did they get to their all-time highs, right? MakerDAO, obviously, Terra Luna was a catastrophe, but this doesn't seem to be that same style of algorithmic stablecoin, but we'll see.
I agree. All right, kind of get into some Bitcoin related topics here. Trump, so this is a message from the Bitcoin magazine guys. They said Trump should take the 210,000 Bitcoin already held by the US, which David Bailey believes that is overseen by the executive branch via DOJ, and time lock those coins for 100 years. Me and you talked about this before the show. How insane would that be if they time locked 210,000 Bitcoin for 100 years?
It would be amazing if that happened, because that basically, when you time lock, you have certain block heights that would release a certain amount of Bitcoin, or whatever mechanism you use for that, right? So I think it would definitely, look, this is not the only source of monetary value that the government relies on, but it could be substantial if Bitcoin gets to the numbers we think, right? So allowing it to have like a time lock on it will hold the government more, I guess, give them more accountability, right?
Yeah.
Because now they have to be very careful with the release of how much ever Bitcoins that they would for each time lock. I think it'd be cool, just because, and also people would be paying attention on chain of like what happens with those funds, right?
Yeah.
So.
What they could do too, they could back dollars against them as well, even them being time locked, right? So they can, and then they can play it that way as well, kind of, because all the gold is technically under the US, but they just hand out papers, right? And they can still trade it, but you're back to that time lock. So they could do something like that as well, paper Bitcoin trading, which I guess that's what the ETFs are doing now. So but I think that'd be really cool. That would basically idiot proof Bitcoin from the idiots who are in charge right now. So
yeah it would, but I still don't have a ton of faith that once they do receive each time lock allocation, that they would make the best decisions with what they receive. But who knows? I think the biggest part is transparency, on what happens, where it goes, and stuff like that. So
100%. According to, I got this from my man Yasher. He says, according to Bitcoin monthly payoff chart in recent years, June has been a poor month for payoff. So basically, he's saying here is that June is normally a down month for Bitcoin. And that's, I went back and looked last year, and Bitcoin was kind of sideways all last June. So what do you think? I'm still thinking our next dot is above the previous dot. I'm not sure. What do you think about that?
No, I mean, I think sure hit the nail on the head with this.
Yeah.
If you look at just all of the Junes, right, even like the halving years, leading up to the bull market, it really does dip. This year is obviously different because of ETFs and different factors there, but it's starting to kind of get back to the natural cycle, at least like from this past week of June, right? So
Yeah.
with this past week of June, we've seen the downturn. But I do think, like, from what the data is showing me, I do think like there's a possibility that the last week of this month, we we see Bitcoin get hyper aggressive on the upside again.
Yeah.
Not necessarily saying all-time high, but knocking on that door possibly at towards the end of this month, leading into the beginning of July.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. All right, go to the next one. This really doesn't have anything to do with Bitcoin, but there is something I want to add to this. It says Musk says they will ultimately sell robots for around $20,000, which millennials may have the ultimate life experience. So what if these robots, right? The GPU is not going to be able to like put these things, like get these things going. You're going to need like really good hardware in these models. What if they're all mining Bitcoin? You buy one of these things, right? They're mining Bitcoin. It's not an insane amount, but it's just enough to where a person might be able to live off of when Bitcoin gets to a certain price. What do you think about these robots potentially mining Bitcoin for its owners, I guess you would say?
Yeah, that's an interesting idea, because they're gonna have to use depending on how much Bitcoin they're trying to get out of it and what it's capable of, use a lot of the CPU power from the robot to do so.
Yeah.
That's why I think it would probably be pretty minimal, but who knows, right? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we're talking about like a Black Mirror episode right now. You know what I mean? And to where, hey, it could happen, but I think we still got some time away for that to happen. Maybe like 5 years minimum, something like that. But hey, if Bitcoin's at $1 million in 5 years, then the little bit of Bitcoin it can mine could mean something, right? So
yeah, and I'm not saying
we'll
this thing's
see.
going to make you rich, but it could substitute a portion of your paycheck.
Yeah, it could, especially
So.
the people that get in early. But now, if you think about it, like if like there's millions of people doing it, what does that also mean, right?
Well, you'll go into a pool, so yeah, you'll end up splitting it little by little. So, but let's just say 0.001 is now worth, I don't know, $2,000, right?
Yeah.
So in that predicament, I mean that's that's a lot. But yeah, the more people that get on, the less Bitcoin for everyone else. But in the beginning, it might be a really good thing, and they could do other things as well. You may be able to mine other stuff as well. So we will see.
Yeah, we shall see. That's interesting. I hope Black Mirror makes an episode of that. So if they're listening, I love Black Mirror.
Yesterday there was a $226 million outflow to spot ETFs. Probably one of the biggest ones so far, without a lot of inflow. What do you think about this? Or the big guys getting a little nervous right now?
Well, I mean, it could be from some people that were purchasing back in when they first released it, right? Because
January.
it did take a couple of weeks for it to really climb up to that all-time high. So you had people probably buying at like what, 40,
30,
45, 30, 35, 38, 40, 45. I can't remember what price it was at the very
I mean, you're right there. Yeah,
started.
you're exactly right. Yeah.
But yeah, so then some of them made close to double what they put in. So maybe they're taking out like a certain percentage just to kind of safeguard themselves, and then leaving out some. We've seen some high outflow days, right? So I just think this is a natural like market activity that we got to get used to seeing. Every level that it increases to, we'll probably see like a couple days out of the month, even in the bull market, to where there's pretty high outflows. Obviously, in the heat of the bull market, I think that there's going to be very rarely any outflow days that beat inflow days. But this is, I think, just a normal, healthy kind of back and forth is what we're seeing here. Not worried at all.
Yeah, man. So yesterday the SEC put out a paper. I know it's probably hard for you guys to read it, so I'll just read it off to you guys. So here's the top 80 ETF holders by market. So it's Millennial Management, it's Susquehanna, it's Horizon Kinetics, Jane Street, which is very interesting because that's SBF's former company. Not that he owned it, but where he worked at before he opened up his FTX, which fell. But yeah, I mean, there's ARK's on here. ARK's only 9. Morgan Stanley's number 8. Some notables here is ARK has like 3 or 4 funds that are in the top 20, which is incredible. You know, you got IMC Chicago, which I think is a pension fund. Yeah, so I'll put this in the show notes for you guys, and shout out Vito Corleone for this, because this is where I got it from. But yeah, it's very interesting. The names of these Franklin Templeton is on here at like 58. Yeah, so I'll put this in the show notes, like I said, and it's really interesting to go through and see who's holding what, and then maybe in like 6 months to go back and look and see what they're also doing. I know it's hard.
Where's BlackRock though? I didn't see them.
So BlackRock isn't on here for whatever reason. I wonder why. Because these are companies that own in the BlackRock. So BlackRock is they probably own the Bitcoin that are in the BlackRock. But BlackRock, they came out and said their company owns as well. But I do not see them on here. I could be wrong.
iShares. You don't see iShares. So gotcha. iShares these are actual holders.
These are who hold the iShares, the ETFs, and Fidelity and all that stuff. It's all combined in one.
Yeah.
No.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So these are the companies that own the actual shares inside the ETF. So yeah. So BlackRock. Well, they did say they own some Bitcoin those, but I don't see them on here. But yeah, it's like I'll post this in there so you guys can take a look yourself. Our last thing before we get into Bitcoin price action is MicroStrategy is about to buy more Bitcoin. Yesterday we had a thing on our note saying that they were going to be selling these convertible notes. They haven't sold yet, but they will be. It'll probably go through next week, and then they'll probably end up buying the Bitcoin next week. But more notable is every time MicroStrategy buys, the price drops. Not drastically, but the price definitely is a lot lower the next couple days. It's almost like they're like, oh, Mike said I bought, dump it. So what do you think about this? Does history repeat? Will MicroStrategy drop the price lower?
Well, I mean, anytime in the previous, I would say like 2.5, 3 years, every time MicroStrategy bought, it definitely did seem like it went down. I don't remember. I didn't pay attention too much whenever, bull market conditions or better market conditions, when they would buy, what would happen. But we'll see. We're going to find out, right? That is kind of like it. MicroStrategy kind of has the effect of the Jim Cramer effect, right? To where every time they purchase Bitcoin, it does go down, is what we've seen. So we're about to see here in the next 2 days to see if it has changed since we are in better market conditions, or if it continues.
Yeah. And it was funny. They asked Michael Saylor about this. He said he's going to be selling convertible notes when Bitcoin's at 2 million as well. So he said doesn't care. As long as he is able to sell these without damaging his company, he's going to continue to do so in periodic times. So, it's all a strategy. It's like people are saying, why don't he just buy all the Bitcoin now? It's because he just can't dump his company to do this. They have to kind of like, build it back up, and then do something like that. And also, the worst case scenario is if he dumps 51% of the company and then someone comes in and sells it all, right? So he has to be careful with that as well. So, but
yeah, definitely, because then they can start making decisions and go away from Bitcoin or try to sabotage it or whatever. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
100%. So let's kind of get into it, if you wouldn't mind, sir. Let's see what the king is doing.
Let's do it. Before we do, though, guys, if you are on the YouTube side, please make sure, if you're not subscribed, to subscribe to our channel. If you're new, welcome to the Ordinal Hour by Ordinal Revolution podcast. And smash that like for us, guys. And then on the Twitter side, please share this space. We want to educate as many people as possible, and also hit that like for us. But yeah, let's jump into some Bitcoin price action here. What I did this morning is I basically pulled up 3 different time frames, one for short term, which is the hour chart, one for mid, which is the 4-hour chart, and then one for, I would say, probably the last 2 weeks, last week and a half of the month. So on the short term time frame here, you can see this is the hour chart. It does look like we're going to be heading back down here. We have pretty much descended since 2 days ago, right? It's just been pretty much like down only. We were up to about 70,000 right before the information from the CPI report, and then we just basically dumped here. It looks like we have been hanging out in overbought territory for a good minute here since it looks like 8 o'clock Central last night. And now it looks like we're going to be heading down into possibly oversold territory. So, maybe back down to 66,500 here in the next 2 to 6 hours. Hang out there, bouncing back between 66.5 to 66.9 around there. So that is kind of the short term, outlook here. You see, we're about to finish the buy pressure as well here on the MACD. These two lines, the blue and orange line, are about to touch, it looks like, and if this continues down, it will touch, and we'll see how strong that sell pressure will start off at. And then so that's pretty much the short term. I think we're going to be bouncing back between 66.5 and 66.9, possibly 67,000. All right, for the midterm, we can see here on the 4-hour chart, we didn't continue on to get into overbought yesterday, which makes sense because we didn't go up. We actually went down a little bit more, back into 66,000, and it looks like we've gotten all the way to right above oversold on the 4-hour chart. So 4-hour chart does a decent foreshadowing for the next 2 to 3 days. So I would say over the weekend and Monday, we did complete this. It was a really short sell pressure MACD here. It started 7 a.m. yesterday and finished at, it looks like 3 p.m. But the buy pressure is barely starting, a small, tiny green candle. So this might actually get reversed, and we could fall down into the oversold and Bitcoin go down further. If that's the case, maybe over the weekend we hit 65,000. 64.5 around there if this continues. Sundays are usually pretty good bounce back days, I would say, for the most part. So if that's the case, then maybe Sunday we bounce back to 65, 66 if it goes that route. And then the last chart is more of the longer term chart, the last 2 weeks. I actually really like what I'm seeing here. This does need to close up here on the MACD for it, but we've been in the oversold for a while, since the 8th of June, it looks like. So we've been hanging out here for a while. So I think we are definitely oversold for the 12-hour chart, which typically predicts like 7, 10, 15 days. So this gives me bullish, perspective for towards the end of this month. That's why I think that, we could end the month bouncing back up and challenging that 71, 72,000 again. But that probably won't see that until at least like a week and a half later. So we're looking at maybe like the 21st, as early as it possibly could start. Now, anything can happen with Bitcoin. We know that. But this is just kind of those 3 time frames that we're looking at. So, short term down is what I'm expecting. Midterm, probably a little bit down, but longer term, at least for the last 2 weeks of the month, I think that's whenever we pull back up. So
interesting.
Yep.
Ugh. All right, guys, we're jumping right into the roll call now. So yesterday I went in there and I started a couple. So it's not showing on the live here, but these are from yesterday at like 2 o'clock. You guys are killers. But PJ and Z, you were first to comment on that. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. You win today. Congratulations to you, my friend. Followed by Tim Baker. He says, "What's poppin'?" Shout out Tim Baker, one of our mods. We appreciate you, Tim. AOD Art. Green Man is in the building. We love Green Man here. Green Man is amazing. Followed by Claudio, Lackey Lou, Mr. Hanky, the Christmas Poo. And then we have let's get into the normal ones. We have Token Jokin. He says, "Yo, Shizzy, my Royals are flying." Good, congratulations, man. 20%. And then we have Danny Boy coming in here.
Danny Boy.
And then Yazir, man. You guys can notice by everything in here. I actually went through his stuff today and put a lot of his stuff in the banners. Well, if you guys don't know, the banners is our kind of our rundown. So we appreciate Yazir, man. Thank you so much for everything you do for the show. We really appreciate it.
100%.
Followed by let's see. Mike's World is in the building, and then we have I Walk Alone is here. So he said, "Welcome to the Yazir Show." Welcome to the Yazir Show. And we have Glass Hoppers in the building. Appreciate you, my friend. And then no, he says, "GM to the OR team, everyone watching. GM to you, my friend." Itatoshi is in the building, followed by Chief Axel. Ordinal's Tweets is here. Super fan, we appreciate you, my friend. GM to you. Broke Oshi is here. Thank you so much for coming, my friend. Let's see. Bitmap Gallery is here. Crypto Hot News. Sixes is here. S is here. He says, "Have Bank Dev on, please." Yes, we have Jack Lou on tonight for sure. I don't know if he's the dev there, but he's definitely a part of the team.
Yeah.
Cheaty is here, and let's see. Patty Poo is here, my man, the Bitcoin machine himself, followed by Crypto Crates. I think it's your first time here. We appreciate you, my friend. He says, what is the reason behind Band's pump? It's because they're a stable coin on Bitcoin. I mean, that's all you really need to know. Mighty Sonu is here, followed by Crypto Cats. Let's see. Kai Effect is here. Appreciate you, my friend. He says, why is Bitcoin prices being suppressed? I don't know if it's being suppressed. It's just not being bought up right now, but it's soon enough, man. Soon enough. And then we have Bob Witt. Welcome to the show, Bob Witt. Just made it into the roll call. We appreciate you. All right. Yes, and that was your roll call for today.
Amazing roll call for a Friday. We got 153 people, 154. Just popped in another one here. Appreciate each and every one of you guys hanging out with us to start the weekend, right? What a great way to kick the weekend and hanging out with the Ordinal Revolution gang. So we appreciate each and every one of y'all.
And this should have probably been in the Bitcoin thing, but I think I put it in the wrong spot. But it's a Tether CEO claims Bitcoin stands alone in decentralization, which is true. And I think that most of the other chains know that. Bitcoin is the, when you're thinking about true decentralization, Bitcoin is the only one. Bitcoin is the only one not controlled by anybody. Bitcoin's CEO cannot get arrested and the keys being shaked out of him because no one knows who he is. Satoshi did something that most humans can't do, and that's walk away from billions and billions of dollars and continues to do so. So it's one of those things until the day he returns. It's the most decentralized thing. And even if he does return, I mean, you can't take 51% of the hash power. It's just it'll take you, I don't know, $500 million or no more than that, probably like $500 billion just to get that much hash power, because you have to buy all the machines or buy the mining companies themselves, and it's be almost impossible. So
yeah. No, I completely agree. Which is why I think so many people care about, Bitcoin Core and what happens with it. Obviously, switching over to, what was it? Proof of stake. It makes things a lot more shaky, right? And so I agree. And guys, remember, Tether was born on Bitcoin. Even though the main utility started on, or eventually grew on, Ethereum EVM chains with USDT, it was born on Bitcoin, on the Omni layer meta protocol. And if you look at their books, I mean, Bitcoin is the largest asset that they acquire, right? So imagine that, where they got a lot of their growth, which is Ethereum EVM chains, they still have that much faith in Bitcoin that is what they keep acquiring over.
Yep. That's the thing too, is like right now they're not allowed to back the dollars against the Bitcoin, but they are allowed to do, the Bitcoin, they do bonds and stuff like that. They buy it, United States bonds and stuff. That's how they back it, and which they can earn 5% yield on. That's why they do that instead of holding the dollars, which devalue every day. But eventually they're going to be allowed to put that Bitcoin that they're buying, as a backing for those dollars. And I think that's only something to come soon. You need regulation and stuff for that to happen, but I think they're getting prepared for that. So going to the next one here, KuCoin Futures. So this is pretty funny. Leonidas tweeted, he said, instead of tweeting about meme coins every day about how about the top sexes, actually list some meme coins. And then KuCoin's Futures came out and said, can dog actually bring 1 million users to KuCoin? I thought that was pretty funny. KuCoin is actually engaging with Leonidas here. KuCoin has not listed dog, from my understanding. But if they did, can dog bring 1 million users to Leonidas? I mean, to KuCoin.
I don't think it's gonna bring 1 million users right off the bat, of course, but I don't know. Do you think that was kind of a stab at dog, or was that more of like a friendly, legitimate question, no, to their user base?
It was kind of like a thing where it was like Leonidas was like, yo, instead of like talking about it, just do it. And they're like, well, we have to, basically make sure that it's worth it, So it's like, it's not gonna, because I mean, it's a new technology, believe it or not. Like we feel like it's old at this point because we've been talking about it for so long. But to them, I mean, they just probably started researching it like a couple weeks ago. They want to make sure that it's not gonna like mess up or something like that, or whatever happens, destroy the UTXO and destroy the dog inside of it as well. So
Yeah, I think a lot of people thought initially that it would just be such an easy transition for these centralized exchanges to add runes because it is UTXO model based,
yeah,
and it works like Bitcoin, right? But there are situations to where runes could get lost. We've seen tokens that are similar that happen with ARC's 20s and stuff like that. But I think more than even just the technical aspect of it, because like a lot of these centralized exchanges are probably busy trying to figure out like which tokens they're going to add from other environments. They're probably also trying to time some of this market, right? If they add it during like a slow period, is that going to help their volume increase that much? Or if there's momentum with Bitcoin, it's going to like it's past its all-time high at 76,000 or 80,000, that would probably be a more attractive time to launch like or list dog go to the moon. And plus, like for KuCoin, like I really don't care about their futures and perps and stuff.
yeah,
Like they need to like they're a pretty solid size, like centralized exchange. I feel like
huge, yeah.
pretty decent name, all that stuff. So they need to list the spot, in my opinion, and because like you list the spot, the futures and perps are already there, right? And it's probably vice versa too. But I'm just saying, yeah, that could start something, because I consider KuCoin, even though they are a big like leveraged platform, they're still bigger than Gate to me.
Yeah.
And Gate's the one that always grabs them at first, even though they're a pretty big brand themselves. KuCoin is definitely, in my opinion, bigger and more brandable.
Yeah, by far. KuCoin is like, I would say it's one of the top 5 exchanges. I mean, whether it be Coinbase, Bybit, Binance, OKX, I think KuCoin's up there. So I think that, and Gate.io, they're known as the shitcoin mecca, right? They put anything on there to get fees, which is amazing, which is fine. I mean, I think you should be able to, if you like to trade on centralized exchanges and stuff like that. So I don't. If there's something that I want to buy, and I just do it decentralized, right? But some people, they like the security of the centralized exchanges, which comes with the risk as well. So, but yeah.
Well, I was wrong actually. So KuCoin is number 10 in terms of trading volume, 24-hour trading volume. So 653 million. So they're in top 10. But Gate.io is 2.8 billion. But like you said, they do slap on like pretty much any tradable token.
Yeah.
And some traders look for the ones that have a lot of like that are hot, because then they can trade those and do pretty well on those. I know Dog was pretty easy at first, trading that when it was like up only, right? And so but I didn't realize how much volume they were doing. That's pretty impressive, honestly, for Gate.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to remember they have every coin on there. Like every coin, like I'd be shocked if you went to CoinGecko and there wasn't that coin was not on Gate.io, because on CoinGecko you can go down and see what exchanges are holding, and 90% of the coins on there have Gate.io at the bottom there. So,
yeah, man.
I jump into our next thing here. For the children, this is the Ghostface Killer, the Wu-Tang thing, coin rune. It is killing it right now. It's sitting at a $2.5 million market cap, 37 Bitcoin. I have it in here 52, but it has dropped recently since I posted that earlier this morning. So what do you think about this one? Can this get pretty far? I mean, let's check out the holder count. The holder count is 12,851 holders. The holder count is high. Market cap is only 2 million, like I said. The volume is 137,000. 72 pending buys right now. It must have been a long block. But what do you think about For the Children?
I think it was pretty smart that they used the claim approach for certain communities. They got them obviously above 10,000 holders. This could do something. I mean, Wu-Tang's definitely, or Ghostface Killer is putting his brand on it. That's for sure. You see the logo on the rune. This one would be interesting if he can somehow like build this out to where, and he continues his consistency with himself being involved at what at least seems like that from the outside. Obviously he posted a tweet that says like my team is saying this and that, but like he's I don't know. We'll see if he tries to learn himself more. I think that will be a big deal. Like people will respect that if like he's the one that's like Russell Okon, right? Ex NFL player. He's in the he gets his hands dirty with everything like NFTs. Like he researched himself with Bitcoin ordinals and stuff like that, and people respect him for that, and they will respect like what he puts out because he actually has his own opinions. I think that celebrities really need to look at that. And they might think, well, I don't have time for this. Well, if you don't have time for that, you're just not going to gain the respect that you're looking for. It's not an easy you might be able to do that real quick on Solana, but you can't get it done here. You just can't. We've seen it, so.
Yeah, we've seen it firsthand. But this is kind of like one of those things where it's not easy. Right. So we think it's easy. Like when we think about this stuff, it's like, what the hell? Like, you can't do that. But like for someone outside looking in, like setting up a Coinbase account is hard for them. Right. Because they have to, I got to put all my information in, blah, blah, blah. KYC, and then I can finally buy the Bitcoin. And then I got to do KYC. And then I got to wait, 3 days for my bank to send it in or the other way around. Or it's hard for them to do that. For us, I mean, it's so easy for us to just open up an expert. Like I can walk someone through it in 5 minutes, but like it might take them like three phone calls with me to actually really get a sense of your head around it, right? So for us it's really easy, for them it's really hard. Like you're not going to get For the Children on a centralized exchange, so I mean not yet anyway. With Ghostface's background you might be able to get it on something like Gate.io eventually, but like as of right now it's not easy to buy. And for this thing to really kind of, I mean, you see how sideways action is this year. It goes up then back down, up back down. It definitely has head and shoulders on the hourly, which is probably why it's dipping here. If you're a trader, you can kind of see that, but you could definitely bounce out of here. I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, dude, this might be one I add. You could see this run in the future, especially if he keeps coming out and talking about it. If he stays consistent with it, like Leonidas does with Dog, like Ellie does with Mother. I mean, I hate to say it, but she is killing it over there. She's constantly tweeting, and I saw something from her. Someone tweeted, says, if Iggy's still in this in 2 weeks, I'll eat my own crap. And then she reposted it and said, it's been 2 weeks. When is the live stream of you eating your own crap? So, I mean, if he can kind of do that with the community, then I think that it could be successful. But if he doesn't, then I don't think this will be very successful. He's going to really have to put a lot of time into it. And like a lot of those guys, I mean, they're very busy. I'm sure he has a million things he has to do to constantly be on Twitter, like us psychopaths. It's a full-time job.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the market cap is like 2.5 million. So it's definitely like, I think for me personally, it'd be worth like throwing $1,000 at it or something. Right. But, the best thing that he could do is really just like immerse himself into the ecosystem, truly learn about it and starts talking about it and come to the table like humble and just be like, hey, look, I initially was looking at this as like, I want to get into this early. I don't know much about it, but the more that I've, been, learning and stuff, it's just, it really just attracts me more to the space and like just being genuine about like learning about it. I think that would be huge for this project for him and himself too, because like at that point, like, I think the hardest thing is I think it's almost impossible in our space is to try to convince a group of people that they're one of us and they're not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's like the hardest thing. You see people try it from different chains. You see people try it that are celebrities. You see people try it this and that. And you're just really smoked out over here. Like, you know what I mean? There's experienced people in this community we've been in the previous cycle. We know, so but if you work at it and you put the work in to kind of earn the respect, I think that's where this could be game changing, and maybe you can set a blueprint, for that.
Yeah,
so we'll see.
I agree 100%. How many hours, like if he dedicated some hours to really sitting down, downloading an X-Verse, downloading a Uniset, playing on Magic, how many hours do you think it will take him to kind of get from level 1 to level 2?
It depends on how genuinely interested he is in it.
Yeah,
I mean, like, I'm sure he's pretty intelligent, right? He's had success in his life. Really good lyricist, right? All that stuff. But like, you can't manufacture like strong passion, right? And I think that like, you can like kind of find it by just hanging around a little bit longer. But if it clicks in his brain then I think it's a much shorter timeline than if like he just can't find like those creative juices that are working in his mind about like why this is so, there's so much opportunity here, you know. So it really depends upon that.
Yep. All right, jumping to our next thing here. BitGenie. So now this is some Merlin stuff here. So BitGenie reached 31 million in TVL, ranking 7th in the Merlin ecosystem, establishing itself as the first runes DEX. I mean, they're coming out and saying it. We know we're partners with Ordinal Index, who you know, at this point they're falling behind a little bit. Users can complete for a hefty wish prize, but they are really pushing their wish token, and they're really giving a lot of rewards. So this token is definitely being inflated every single day. So that's one thing about it. But like I don't know. I mean, you know, BitGenie, they came out of nowhere. You know, when we were been helping Rothium Dex kind of do their thing. These guys just came out of the rug, and they have, you know, they're up, they're running, they're working. They're killing it. What do you think about BitGenie and everything that they're doing over there?
So I would say one big thing that they're missing is the Bitcoin wallet integration.
Yes.
Right. So that is one thing I'm not sure why they skipped that, but that is definitely something that I think is a big deal, especially if you're trying to, you know, attract the Bitcoin ecosystem users. Right. A lot of people, when we saw it from, you know, the seal and all that stuff, they want to just use the Bitcoin wallets, whether that's Unisat or Unisat, or I think Xverse is going to be integrated or soon or something. I heard something about that. But anyways, regardless, that's where I think VDEX has the edge, is that both wallets are integrated seamlessly. Also, I think it does matter right now, at least, who's behind the projects, right? Like, we don't know who is behind BitGenie other than they're from the East. And there's nothing wrong with, like, you know, a project coming from the East, besides the fact that like the Ordinal ecosystem is really, I think, kind of looking for some familiar faces behind projects that they're going to be bridging, you know, to Merlin, right? So you got Ordinal Hive with Fonzie, huge OG like in the space, very friendly, sociable, and you got Sam as well, big OG in the space for VDEX, right? So Sam was the Ordinal side, you know, he's the one who launched the Verothium mines. He's been like in the base community. He's been here since last February. He's actually released I think it's a sub 200K collection with the Hootenannies. He's released, like, he's an OG, right? So I think that's where, you know, VDEX has the edge. Now at the end of the day, like, you got to put out a product, right, that is going to attract people. And then I think we're going to be surprised with what he rolls out, and I'm excited for it because it is right around the corner. Hey, look, BitGenie has released their MetaMask side of things. Their platform definitely looks pretty cool, and we'll see what happens. I think there's going to be, at this point, it's going to be exciting for Merlin, right? Because like they were waiting for DApps to
Dex
really
Wars.
be released. Yes, now we got the Dex Wars, right? You guys remember the Dex Wars for every single EVM chain, right? Like I was like in the middle of one on Kronos towards the end of the last cycle, and VVS, which was backed by Crypto.com, because Kronos is pretty much backed by Crypto.com, was the initial one that was really robust, very clean, professional looking. And then Mad Meerkat Finance came out of the muck and basically took over the volume for like the next, I would say, like 3-4 months, built this huge ecosystem with $4 billion worth of value. Of course, that all got swept away because of Terra Luna and stuff. But my point is the war, the Dex war, was really fun over there and interesting. And a lot of people were, you know, in good opportunities, lucrative opportunities. And I think that's what's going to happen over here. You're going to see that happen on Merlin, and it's going to be really exciting. And it's going to happen like heading into that first aggressive leg up. So, dude, I think there's going to be crazy volume there. You know, that's just my prediction. We'll see if I'm right or wrong there.
I'm excited. Yeah, for sure. But like, you know, you did mention like how they, you know, Sam's an OG in the space and stuff, but these guys have the partners of Avalon, OKX Wallet, BitCat Wallet, BitBoy, and stuff like that. So we did see Verothium Dex just come out with their first partner yesterday, which is Unitap, which kind of shows that potentially they're trying to get maybe some trading some tap stuff over there as well, which could be really big. And that's one thing that BitGenie and stuff like that might miss out on, is like the other ecosystems tools. I mean, obviously they're going after runes and ordinals, but it could be something big for Verothium Dex to kind of go after like tap and stuff like that, stuff that you can't get over here, and potentially, you know, but you're gonna have to come up bridges and stuff, a way of doing that. But then they have Ghosty, so Ghosty could help them with that as well, and some other way, because you know Ghosty's doing Merlin stuff already. It'll probably be easy enough to convert that Merlin into whatever token you want to bridge. So you definitely see something like that eventually, but these guys, bitching, they're killing it, and I just definitely want to bring them up. Obviously, we are partnered with Verothium Dex as advisors, but I definitely want to give kudos to the guys building on Merlin, because I think Merlin's going to be one of the biggest chains soon. So
100%, 100%, and that I think that is like a big distinction right now between like the Eastern builders and the Western builders right now. Is that the Eastern builders partners have like capital and stuff like that with like OKX. They're just like centralized exchanges and stuff like that. But the Western builders, their partners are like from the Ordinals ecosystem or Bitcoin's ecosystem, right? So I think that's where there probably eventually will be a bridge that's more meshed, but we'll see what happens. It's gonna be exciting, I'll tell you that, to say the least.
100%. I agree. Okay, we'll jump into what I have here. The Royals. Let me bring this up real quick if I can find them. Collections. So the Royals are up pretty much high, and you know, I'm not a big fan of DMT stuff. I'm publicly open to saying that stuff. I gotta dig more into it. But it looks like the Royals have been really killing it over the last 24 hours. And they're up like 20%, right? So it's just so funny when like people tweeted at us, it's like, oh, the Royals are up. It's like, yeah, you were just at like 0.003 yesterday, so it ain't too much up. Maybe it was up a lot earlier this morning or last night or something, but I hope it does well. I'm just I honestly don't like the art. You know, it's just weird to me, but yeah. What do you think about the Royals and everything?
Well, I mean, you got to give them their flowers, right? Even 20% in a Ordinals market, that's kind of,
that's true.
You know, bleeding out in and out, right, with certain projects. So you got to give them flowers for that. You know, I really think that like once you do take that time to dive into it, then you could possibly appreciate it a little bit more, because I think it's less about like what this art looks like, right? But it's like, how does the hair? How do you get one with hair? How do you get one with like you know, the bubblegum box or whatever? Why are all of them like straight lines, right? And it actually isn't as difficult as it seems. It's just, you know, accepting the fact that, you know, you're okay with block data being used and determining certain traits for a collection, right? So, you know, if they use a certain like a data point and you have a certain threshold, like you pass like 200 bytes, let's just say, and then my block has like 150, but like for 200, between 200 and 300, you get the spiky hair or something, right? Like I'm just pulling this off the top of my head, right? But that's where I think it's really cool. And I think if they could just really explain what I just did to everybody in a very simplified way, you know, which I don't know. I feel like that was pretty simplified, and I could be wrong. So let me know, group, if I'm wrong about that. But that's how I believe it. That's how I understand it. You know, it's using block data, right? And the different data points that they're pointing to, depending on what your range is for that block, determines like what features you get, right? I actually really love that in terms of the, you know, non-arbitrary data creating something. You're basically not you don't know, because you're not predetermined like what, you know, what you're gonna get based on, you are predetermined, but you don't know until like you actually hear what each trait equates, right? So I like that. I think it's more fair that way. But we'll see what happens with this narrative. Benny obviously has bought into this, like pretty much put a lot of his eggs into it, being an indexer for it. Obviously the block runners have as well. I think it could turn into something big. The more that they educate in a simplified way, it could.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I struggle with it. Like I get it. Like this gray hair guy, like there's something in that block that gives it the gray hair over the green hat here, right? So you know, or the yellow teeth over the blue teeth and stuff like that. But I just don't understand why the images got to be so bad. Why they got to be so, like my my sun draws better than this. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like
well,
this is
like
awful.
I believe it's because it's generative, right?
Okay.
Based on the data, right? So no one is necessarily like, I don't know. That's just my understanding of it. I
Yeah,
could be
yeah, yeah.
wrong. But maybe we get like an expert on the show just to kind of explain and break it down for people, because love it or hate it, I think the one thing that you and I can agree upon is that
Yeah.
there's a community here.
Yeah.
There's a
100%.
community that do love it. And it's just it might not be growing at like a crazy rapid rate in
Yeah.
terms of the community, but it is growing, that is for sure. And the people that it clicks to, like, it really does click pretty hard. So it does remind me of early bitmap days. I hate to say that because like people get it confused, but like remember the early bitmap days when that clicked, because it was pretty straightforward, simplified explanation of what it is.
Yeah.
And then there was people that just didn't get it, or just didn't think that it would, hold, and it did. So
That's true.
we'll see.
All right. Jumping to the next thing here. Where is it? But okay, here it is. Ordinal Sigma X. We'll hit on this really quickly because I don't want to shill anything, but I thought this was really cool what these guys are doing over here. So it's an ordinal collection. You basically buy one of these, right? And then you kind of go over to their site here, which is called runestake.io /Sigmax. And I don't know if it's a Sigmax or another one, but you can hook up your wallet and you can stake one of these, and you can earn the the Sigma Stone token, ordinal. So that's kind of a cool way to earn your ordinals now. You kind of you get the NFT, the ordinal, and then you take that to the site and you can stake it and earn that token. The longer you stake it, the more tokens you earn, which is pretty cool. And you can probably see this more and more. And again, I'm not trying to like shield this project in general, but I just think this is a really cool concept. Instead of just airdropping your token, make them like we can do something like that for our ordinals pass, right? Like, and you go to the site, stake your ordinal pass. The longer you have it in there, the more tokens you earn, or something like that. Or maybe there's someone out there who says, hey, we want to give our tokens to frogs, node monkeys, and puppets. Stake your node monkey, frog, or puppet here, and then that's how you earn our token instead of just doing the airdrop round. But what do you think of this? I think it's really cool, but it's definitely something brand new.
Yeah. That is definitely interesting. I think people have been waiting for stuff like this, right? So
Yeah.
is it on Bitcoin's native layer that you stake it?
Yep. Native layer Bitcoin.
Okay, so basically you're sending it to
you're sending it to another wallet. There's no smart contract involved. You're trusting them with your asset for sure.
Gotcha. And so this is kind of like the beginning, primitive part of staking on Bitcoin, right? But it is not permissionless. It is pretty much just trusting them.
It's centralized.
Fully.
Yeah.
It's centralized. That's probably a better way of saying it. But hey, at least they're doing something to try to earn off of your Bitcoin layer 1 asset. So that part is cool. But for me, I would prefer probably like some sort of smart contract, agreement situation, right?
Yeah.
To where you can read the smart contract, you can understand like what, I mean, I know most people don't, but like, it's kind of word of mouth and stuff like that. But I don't know. I think this is the first step though, and hopefully we get the tools that we need to make it more of a decentralized approach. But we just got to take step by step, right? I think that's the
100%.
biggest thing. We've waited this long, guys. I think we can wait longer.
Well, that's the thing. So I thought about this a little bit for Ordinal Hive, one of our partners. If they could do something similar to this, and then you earn that rune token, which could immediately go to Verothium DEX, right? So you could stake that thing. You can earn that token that you kind of make, and then you bridge over, and then you can earn that in a smart contract. Let's just say you're no monkey and your frog and stuff like that. You do that over on Merlin, which is very safely, and then you can put that in a smart contract, which is again is decentralized, and you can do it over there on the side chain. And I think that you take this concept, get a little bit more innovation to it, bridge it to Merlin, and do stuff there. I think that stuff happening in the next 6 months. But it's kind of cool to see this happening on layer 1 and kind of give you that idea. This is definitely something that I think that Ordinal Hive should think about doing for sure.
Yeah, and I'm sure they will. But that's exactly what I meant too. Is that like there's other options right now that are better, better, right? In my opinion. So.
All right. Kind of gets right here. Merlin's Phantom bitmap, the bitmap token, RuFi, Rune Financial, cross-chain withdrawal enabled, assets transfer from Merlin L2 to L1, Verothium gas deck. So this is a tweet from Merlin, right? Can you get into this a little bit?
Yeah, just some Merlin updates. Basically, Merlin Phantom added, the bitmap token, which is a rune, RuFi bridging from the BRC RuFi to the Rune Financial rune, all using Unicross, right? So this is all happening on Merlin. And then the last part was that withdrawal was enabled. So Verothium gas, which is the VDEX runes token, is now available to be bridged and all that stuff. So they had the BRC 420 mines. You can bridge those over, and now their rune token is officially on Merlin. So once that's distributed, however it is, you will be able to bridge back and forth from Merlin to Bitcoin and back. So I think those are pretty significant updates, right? I think the bitmap token is going to be huge. They have a strong narrative initiative as well over on Merlin to make that successful. There's, I think, like already $5 million of liquidity on Merlin swap. I think the other dexes are going to pick that up very quickly. And then, possibly that starts increasing trading volume significantly once, things get more bullish. I think the RuFi situation was needed to happen. There was some messiness there, and now being able to bridge that over to the Rune Financial is great. And then that last part, I think probably the VDEX communities can take a little bit of a sigh of relief, because now they know that like both of the major assets are on Merlin now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man, I just bridged a couple of the mines over. It works perfect. You can do that right now, which is, so if you do have the mines, I definitely highly recommend you getting them over to Merlin, because you definitely want to take advantage of being early day stakers. That's my opinion, not financial advice, but something that I think is smart.
Yep.
But
Yep. Guys, we got about 5 minutes until the Ordinal after hour, but you know what? We might push that back a little bit, because I think we got Fluid Fridays and some other things that we want to go over. So put your questions in there.
So on Fridays, we do the Ordinal after hours around like 12:15, 12:20, so we can hit on our one of our partners, Fluid Friday. So yeah. So real quick, I just want to show this before we get into that. So I want to ask you, because there has been zero volume on the GHSY so far. Why do you think it's been, prices just been getting listed down lower and lower, down to about 35 cents? I think it was at 18 cents, 16 cents as a BRC20 before the snapshot. What do you think? Does this get back down to there before we see our first sale?
Yeah, I think it's like, what's the recent memory of people, right? And so they remember it just being at 18, 19 cents. So in their mind, they're like, this is not a good deal. But I think that people need to realize that, there's a lot of whales that were kind of chipping away at it, like just really, making it difficult, I'll say that, for the price to catch any momentum. And so I think once the buying starts to happen, wherever it ends up like finalizing, okay, this is the bottom, whether that's where we are now, 35 cents, 25 cents, 30 cents. Once it does catch momentum off of announcements and moves and stuff like that, I think you probably won't see these prices, whether it's this or 25 cents, wherever it ends up bottoming at. Probably won't see that for maybe this entire cycle. So right now, I think people are just remembering what they last saw it at, right? But once the energy picks up and the sales start to come in, I think that's whenever people will start to FOMO.
Yeah, for sure. No, I agree. I think it's going to take the TAP token to get to kind of put out, right? So I think that when that happens, it's going to bring liquidity to the ecosystem, and then you're going to see TAP marketplaces popping up. They keep talking. That's all they're doing right now. They're just talking about what's coming. We really want to say something, but they haven't given us anything yet. Just all talk right now. But if their promises, hence on words there, their promises live up to what they're saying, that we could see really big emphasis on DeFi in this TAP ecosystem, which, me, dude, I'm all in. Like, I probably sound like I'm a TAP hater. I'm just tapped boredom. I'm just tired of hearing the same stuff we heard over the last 6 months and seen nothing. So I'm just ready for it. I'm excited for it. The tap token is in the hands of the people who, you know, I don't know if they did the drop yet, but the people who bought it on CoinList, that's coming. And then once it's out in the open, gets listed. We hear listing by Centralized Exchange, one of the top 5, 6, 7, I don't know, but I think one of them is going to get this, and I think that's when you're going to see liquidity come into Ghosty. I think Ghosty is a $3 token. I won't be selling. I got over 70,000 Ghosty. I won't be selling one of them until it's like $3. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Just don't be like one of those whales that was suppressing it. No, just kidding.
I'm gonna suppress it when it hits $3 for sure. But
you're gonna suppress it. You just don't get $3.
I'm gonna. So I don't dump. I dollar cost average in, and then I dollar cost average out, and I think that's
milestones.
How you should play it. So yeah,
milestones.
Like $3 is probably my first milestone. I definitely think it hit there. I mean, I'm talking 600K Bitcoin, 400K Bitcoin, like that area. So but we'll see.
Yeah. No, that's really smart to set milestones. You know, I know some people that have been in the space for a while that do that, and they do very well. But yeah, you know, I think Ghosty's in a good position, especially they have plans on burning. So that supply of 33 million, we could see that get trimmed down. You know, we don't know what the final trim is going to be, but I love that they're talking about burning, because this could be more than just one burning event. So we'll see.
And you guys know me, man. Anything that has to do with burning, I am down. I'm pyro. I will burn all my coins if they allow me to get something that has value as well. So sign me up. I will burn to get spooky if they allow me to. So, but that's the thing too, is like Ghosty holders are also going to get an airdrop of spooky. So if you don't have any Ghosty, not saying do it, but if you want some of that spooky airdrops, then you that's one way to do it. But yeah, so we're gonna jump over to
I wanted real quick to make a couple comments about TAP, because I know from the outside, like I'm just like you, I was the one that was kind of screaming at the top of the mountaintops, but they have made some legitimate partnerships this month, though. Obviously the coin list, but then also with ICP, I think that was huge, right? And ICP's Definity account has, I think, like 200,000 plus people, followers. And so for them to come out and announce it as well, they got to back that up too, right? So I think that's really big. But yeah, we do want to see, you know, some of this ecosystem. And the last thing I'll say is that this is what we've heard, is that at the end of this month, there will be a solely dedicated marketplace for TAP protocol stuff, and I think that will be big, and I think that wallet probably will be released by then, so you guys probably know who I'm talking about. So
you need TAP, so we'll see. But yeah, so guys, it's officially that time of the Friday. It's Fluid Fridays. So if you guys are your first time here, every Friday we kind of dig into Fluid, and we partner with our partners, not for the money, but kind of really just for the they're actually building something really cool, right? And that's the difference, I think, between us and other platforms. They just kind of do it for money. We won't partner with anybody unless we think, you know, one, you're one of the top devs that we think in there, and I think Raul is, and two, you're building something that's really going to change Bitcoin forever. And I think that's what these guys at Fluid are doing. You know, they not only are they borrowing and lending, but they also have this amazing swap now. And let's just say you're on Magic Eden and you see a $50,000 buy wall, right? That's just sitting there in one UTXO. You can't afford that. I can't afford that, right? So what am I going to do? I'm going to buy around it. I'm going to hope something gets listed above it. But now officially, you can buy around it. So what Fluid does is, when you're swapping, people create these limit orders, right? So you go in and you create a limit order with you know, with like how much dog you want to sell for how much Bitcoin, or how much Bitcoin you want to buy for each dog. And what that does when you're swapping here, you can swap. There's not just dog. It's all of these, and we'll get into that in a second. But you can swap your Bitcoin here for the dog, and then boom, it works just like a swap. You do have to wait the 10 minutes for the block to clear, but you cannot get sniped. And that's one thing that I was telling Yagobi. I was dollar cost averaging dog whenever it got to a price that I wanted, and I kept getting sniped, and it was annoying, and I was really getting annoyed by it. And but this kind of fixes that. So let's just say I want to buy, because they got all these as well. I'll read them off to you guys. They Dog Go to the Moon, Satoshi Nakamoto, Epic, R6, Decentralized, Inevitability. And I've never seen that one before. Cook the Mempool, Pups, Bitcoin Rune, Satoshi Hamster or
No, Seiko.
Hamster.
Psycho.
Hamster.
Yeah, Psycho Hamster.
That's the first time I've seen that one. Bitcoin Dollar Cat, $1 billion Cat, NUSD, Cats and Sats, Donald Trump, and Boss Cat Rocket Club. Okay, they got some stuff that are out of my wheelhouse for sure. But yeah, but for me, I'm just gonna buy some dog here. I'm gonna just have an swap at 0.003, so I'll do 0.001, and then I'll come here. It'll get my order ready, and then I'll swap. And it's swapping here. My wallet's probably going to pop up here in a second if I'm logged in correctly, and I am. And I will have to put my password in because I'm slacking, and I apologize for that.
Slacking on a Friday.
On a Friday. All right. My wallet is in.
So you might need to redo it.
No, we're good. And then
okay, it shows you exactly. Oh, it's all good though.
I should have waited. Oh, I can do it again.
Okay. No worries. Basically, what it does is it shows you on your Xverse exactly what you're swapping and what you're getting. And real quick, just to explain to you guys how this works. If there wasn't enough liquidity limit sell orders available, then Shizzy wouldn't have been able to swap that, right? So that's why there's an initiative that Fluid Tokens is adding. You can see right there, it breaks down exactly what you're doing. But initiative to get multiplier points and stuff if you add liquidity. There's going to be a big announcement that's going to be this coming week, I believe, about another initiative to add liquidity. Guys, by adding liquidity by these limit orders, what you're doing is, first of all, you're giving your chance to sell, like, instead of like a big block of it, you can sell parts of it. There is one thing that I want you guys to know, though. So whenever you do the swap, it does send the notification to the seller that, hey, someone wants to swap this out, and then they just have to approve, sign it. But from the data that they've collected, it's the longest that period that's taken is 3 hours. So typically they're pretty quick because they do notify, the sellers via email or however they do it, however they select their notification method. But yeah.
Yep. And they have added something the last couple of days. Boom, leaderboard's coming soon. So guys, they also have a token, and I think the top tokens in the space are going to be Fluid, Liquidium, and maybe Banked. I think utility eventually comes out and over trumps all most of these memes. And I think this token could be something that I want to hold personally. Not financial advice whatsoever, but this is something that I want to hold utility. I want to hold the, because not only, they have this amazing swap now that you can do. You can do, all these other tokens now, but you can come over here and they do have the lending aspect of it. So you can borrow and lend on Fluid as well. So another reason why we are really, really big on these guys. So you can add liquidity pools to these as well. So that's really cool stuff. And we have a tutorial video on that from Raul himself. If you want to get more educated on how the swap and on how the borrowing and lending works, you can check out that video. But yeah, it's just on our page. You can't miss it. And then, so anything else about this?
I mean, I just wanted to kind of circle back to the utility tokens from the Bitcoin ecosystem, because there will be a time in this cycle to where, people are trying to be smarter than they probably need to try to be, and they're going to be looking for utility stuff, right? And Fluid, like you already mentioned, Liquidium, Ordinal Hive, all these have like runes tokens, VDEX, all these utility runes tokens are going to be strong plays, and those are the ones that are building out infrastructure right now. And I think that those are going to have their period where they run. Obviously right now it's meme season, and memes will always kind of be there throughout the thing. Right now it's kind of focused on those and probably the beginning of that first leg up, but there will be a time and period where people are looking for substance and stuff like that. And I think that's whenever if you got in early on, whether airdrop or purchasing it, in my opinion, for me, I would think that would pay off pretty well.
I agree. Yep. I 100%. Yeah. I'm very bullish on these tokens for Bitcoin, man, the utility tokens for sure. I'm excited for more and more to come too. So I think I can't wait for this one. And these guys are already a token trading on Cardano. So the reason why Raul is so good at the stuff is Cardano is UTXO based, and you can say what you want about Cardano, but these guys learned a lot over there. It's kind of like their test net, right, for what they're building over here, which is amazing. That they've had years and years of experience of building with UTXOs. That's why it was so easy for them to just come over here and just go, boom, this is what we got. And I was talking to Raul off camera, and I was saying like, what did you guys ever go to EVM? And he's like, I like UTXOs, and that was really cool to hear. Because it was like, he's just not going where the money is. He's building for a passion, and building with UTXOs and stuff like that was really awesome. He doesn't care about, making billions of dollars. He wants to this is a passion project for those guys.
Yeah. If that was the case, he probably would have left Cardano a long time ago. No offense to Cardano.
For
people,
sure.
But...
No, 100%.
Yeah.
So, but it's kind of cool. Cardano was a test net for Bitcoin. So
yeah. Everything was a test net for Bitcoin. We know that. Yeah, guys. So
it was really, UTXOs. It really was, So.
Yeah. Obviously, they were dealing with a lot more like tools and stuff over there.
They have more opcodes. They have a lot more opcodes.
Yeah, smart contracts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, definitely look out for this next week on the extra incentives that they're going to be adding. Think points. Think possibly collection that could help. I'll leave it at that because I want them to be able to announce that. But one thing we look at with our partners too is, do they miss our weekly meeting, and how often do they miss it? Do they ever meet with us? And Raul is consistent with us every week, just like all our other. We kind of make them. We're just like, hey, we're not going to partner with you guys unless you meet us at least once a week for like an hour, because we need to talk about like what the plan is and all this stuff. And so definitely bullish on all of our partners, but really bullish on the DEX specifically. But
guys, for our community, we want you guys to just trade on this DEX, and it's not for us at all. It's for yourselves. So just do yourself a favor, go over here, buy some dog, sell some dog, buy some dog, sell some dog. Just do it. You want to be on this leaderboard. You're going to want this airdrop. You're going to want what comes with potential airdrop, or I don't know, I might mess that up, but you want what comes with using this DEX for sure. 100% guaranteed.
Yeah, I agree. 264 people, 265 people on a Friday. We appreciate you guys. We're going to jump into the Ordinal Hour now and go over some questions and comments that you guys had or have. So let's dive right in. And I'm getting through, like, it's so funny. So many people were calling Yashir an AI in our comments of the videos. And they're like, he has to be an AI. He's constantly like just putting out all this great content on ideas and stuff like that, which, hey, I don't blame them for thinking that, but he is a person. He is a person. He has feelings.
Real quick though, I just want to thank you again, Yashir, man. You're killing it for us, man. We appreciate you every single day.
100%. All right, let's see here. Man, I had to get through a bunch of those Yashir's comments.
Hey. Oh, I got this one. Mr. Yagobi.
Hey. Welcome says, guess what showed up in my YouTube feed this morning? So I guess we're back. Yeah. We are back. Thank you for letting us know, because I was worried about that.
Yeah, man. Did you see this one by Yasher? It says, love your t-shirt, Yagobi.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
Thank you. I appreciate that, sir. It's one of my favorite t-shirts. Ordinal Tweet says, Bitmap is a pure diamond. I agree. And it still hasn't gotten back to where I think it's undervalued big time right now. But that's just my opinion. And I think there's going to be so much going on with Bitmap when all the craziness happens. So Help us says, Yashir's taking everyone's job. That's funny. That is funny. All right, there was some questions on BAMP. I want to get into that here in a second.
We got over 265 people in here, guys. Appreciate every single one of you, man. Thank you on Friday.
Danny Boy says, what's better to hold BAMP or NUSD and why? So this was actually something I was curious about. And I saw this post from Axie Made, and it says, for the first time, we are seeing Bitcoin's value determined fully on chain in a self-referential manner. This decentralized reference for Bitcoin's price is the Nakamoto Index, and you can read the BAMP-FI Git book here. And I'll just read this first part because it's the Nakamoto Index, and it just breaks it down. It says a reliable and decentralized reference for Bitcoin's price. So the Nakamoto Index is a metric designed to leverage the power of Bitcoin's blockchain to determine the value of Bitcoin in a self-referential manner. This index is made possible through the introduction of the Nakamoto dollars and USD, a synthetic dollar integrated directly onto the Bitcoin network. As NUSD is traded among market participants, the entire price history is recorded on the blockchain. By analyzing this on-chain data, the Nakamoto Index provides a reliable and decentralized reference for Bitcoin's price. The self-referential pricing mechanism enhances the transparency and trustworthiness of Bitcoin's value, leveraging the immutable and decentralized nature of the blockchain. The Nakamoto Index represents a significant advancement in cryptocurrency valuation, utilizing Bitcoin's inherent strengths to create a more robust and accurate pricing system. Okay, so I think that's pretty interesting. But it's also a very strong or like big statement, I would say, right? Yep. For them to say that this Nakamoto Index is really, gonna show a consistent value of Bitcoin. I think maxis would probably just laugh at that and not like it at all. But this is where innovation starts, in my opinion, though, right? Like you got to put yourself out there and make these big statements. And then next thing you got to do is back that up, right? 100%. And so they've made the big statement. People have bought into that. And so now it's, what is that next, backing it up? So now they basically need to kind of roll out what they said that they're going to do. And I think, by doing that, they can really solidify themselves as like the stable token on Bitcoin, which is crazy. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see if they can back it up, right? It's powerful statement, powerful. I mean, I hope they're right. I mean, having a statement. This is something we talked about. I mean, dude, what 9 months ago, right? In October, like we need a stable coin on Bitcoin, and now we have one. It's not by who we thought it was going to be. We thought it was going to be BitSmiley or Yalla, but they came out of nowhere, and they are the top dog, and you got to respect the top dog until he gets taken down. They're the alpha right now, and you can see it in the price. So
yeah, for sure. And there was a comment on one of our recent lives, but I can't find it right now. But anyways, the way that the mechanism works is that if you hold NUSD, this is my understanding, then you will earn BAMP as a reward, right? And so it kind of explains why there's so much pre-mined, right? Because that is supposed to go to the holders of NUSD. So back to Danny's question is, what's better to hold, BAMP or NUSD, and why?
NUSD.
I personally think that it's probably more bullish to hold BAMP in the short term, right? Because if this momentum continues, even though we know the market cap's more like what, 23 million you calculated, or
it's
what?
probably like 30 million now because it went up overnight, but
30 million, right? And let's say like this momentum continues because it's got a ton of momentum. The most momentum in the rune space right now is BAMP. It has surpassed momentum wise, in my opinion. This is relative to each person's opinion, but my perspective. But my opinion is that it has the most momentum right now. So if this drives the actual market cap to 100 million, that's a good short-term flip. Right? Yeah. Now, the long term is obviously NUSD, because then you can earn the BAMP. And then if this is the project we think it is, then NUSD is solid long term regardless, because you're going to be earning BAMP the whole time while the governance token is moving up in value into the bull market. Right? So it's almost kind of like a win-win, as long as there's no lies, that are being told about this project.
Yeah. Well, I would answer this question as are you bullish on Bitcoin right now? So if you're bullish on Bitcoin, BAMP is the way to go. But if you're bearish in the short term, then NUSD is the way to go, because you can buy the the Bitcoin cheaper. So it's up to you. It's really another strategy for you to pick up and play with now. It's another strategy for you to kind of say, I don't want to send my Bitcoin to a central exchange, but I think the price is going down. You can short Bitcoin now by going into NUSD, technically, and then buying it back cheaper. So that's a decision you have to make.
Yep. 100%. All right. Good question, Danny. Appreciate you, sir. Crypto Crates asks, what's the reason behind BAMP's pumping? So, two reasons. Well, one main reason, in my opinion, recently was the announcement of $1 million investment from UTXO Management.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So that definitely like continued this positive momentum that they had.
Yep.
And that's pretty big, guys. Like our UTXO Management, that wasn't the ones that like invested in the rocks and frogs, right? That was Unchained.
Yeah.
Unbroken chain, or whatever.
Yeah.
So those, but we saw what happened whenever they announced that they invested in frogs and stuff.
Yeah.
Frogs at the 0.4, right? So I think whenever you have a large, fund management, or not large, but like a fund management, because over here they're small compared to TradFi, but $1 million is $1 million, right? And someone threw $1 million into this. The second part I would say is that probably our friend Francis and his group of people, like just reminding everybody that he called this. And shout out to Francis, because this was a great call. Something I faded in the beginning, and I had my reasons, but I if it truly is that $25-30 million market cap, then I don't have a problem getting in at these prices. So we'll see.
Yep.
What do you think is the reason it's pumping?
I think we're about to enter utility season. I've been telling you guys for longest time now, it's going to be meme, utility, and then you're going to see like game. I think after that you'll see like gamified and like stuff like that, and then down the line you'll see the collection phase and stuff like that. So I just think it plays in cycles, and I think the next up is utility and tokens to actually have a reason to hold them, whether that be staking or something like that. In this situation, you're just holding and earning. So it's awesome. I'm glad it's happening, and I think this is going to open the door up for. So everyone's already thinking, what's the next bank, right? And that's I know that's in my head. What's the next bank? And I think that really opens the door up, and you're going to see utilities tokens happening. Some are going to be scams. Some are going to be really good projects. So you're going to have to do your due diligence and really be patient to find the next one, and not just jump into the next one. But I'm already looking for the next bank, and I don't mean stablecoin, but I mean like utility play.
Yeah. Good answer there. Yashir says, guys, at the end, if a scenario like Terminator happens, still humans win. We are beyond robots. Yes, we are beyond robots. but that's if humans are in cohesion with each other. Yeah. And because like if they're not, then I think that's where it'd be tough, right?
Yeah.
We got to get along first.
If I was AI, I would say that. Just saying. Yeah, sure. If I was an AI, I would say
false
this.
Hope. Give false hope. And then Ishitoshi says, do the robots follow Asimov laws of robotics? I butchered that word.
You're smarter than anybody. I have no
Asimov. I don't know. But yeah, we'll see what happens there. And then
Yajir answered the question though. He said, I don't think so unless it's in that conference that Musk gates. He said those laws limits progress of AI. Yeah, Musk is against that shit. So I mean, we'll see.
Yeah. I think if the robots ever become sentient, I think that's where we in big trouble. We in big trouble. All right, Superfan says BTC is mined via SHA-256 algo.
Yeah,
robots are a huge future industry for sure, but SHA-256 probably is not required there. Okay.
Yeah, it's not required there, but you can add it for that reason. You can use the GPU mining. You can use the mining power of the GPU to kind of use it there. So that's what I'm thinking. It might be like an add-on or something that you can add this if you wanted to.
Yeah. Well, I think he ended that statement and said big GPUs are used for training in data centers, not onboard to onboard robots. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, they got SHA-256 in the BitBoy handheld, so
they do.
I don't know how they. Yeah, we'll see.
You can mine in the BitBoy handheld. So that's what I'm saying. So in the little Raspberry Pis, you can mine in those as well. It's not hard to add one into the robot for sure. So
yeah, but I think you just probably need a larger effective ability for that for a robot, because you don't want to just. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
It says quantum computing could change mining, but it's miles off. Yeah, I agree. That's another thing that's like, but I love that whole sector, like quantum physics, like quantum entanglement, like where you have two things completely, and like you can have one end of the universe and the other end, which we don't even know if there's ends of the universe, but you know what I'm saying. And one action can affect the other, and it's proven to be true, dude. Like it's amazing. So I love when we get into that, but what I don't love is the power and capability of quantum computing to pretty much mess our world up in a millisecond. So that's
we should do an episode on that, like in the bear market, like in like a year or so. We should do an episode on like quantum computing and like have someone on who understands it and kind of explain it to us. That'd be cool.
And then we're just gonna sit there like the whole time, like
it'll be a bear market. No one's caring about the prices of things. So.
True. Sayan says, interesting take on AI and mining, but if that was the case, why you think they didn't imply it yet? Yeah, I don't think we're at that level. And plus, the large miners are. I actually have a buddy that's a smaller miner. I mean, like smaller. I mean, he has a small warehouse in Iowa, right? But he told me that the medium to small miners are getting flushed out by the larger mining syndicates. And I mean, it just probably doesn't make sense for people to do these small things, right? Like they're just gonna be added to a pool and all this stuff, and it's just not gonna earn much, and people aren't patient these days. Bob Witt says, you guys are the epitome of consistency. We appreciate that. And it's not just us, man. It's like I would say, looking at our chat, it's like 75-80% of our chat every day. So kudos to you guys. Kudos to you guys for being consistent. That's the thing that we preach. Tim Madden says, good morning, Kings. Good morning to you, sir. Let's see. Oh, this was funny. Lil Pump got a Solana tattoo on his forehead. What do you guys think about that? I thought it was fake. I thought it looked fake, but
I got a Bitcoin one on my forehead. That's why I don't. I wear my hat. So
you always cover it, right? Then he says, "Will Trump get a Bitcoin tattoo? That would be weird. What if he got like a B tattooed on his arm or something?" And he's like, "Rah."
Yeah, and he got to remember he's 70 something, so his arms are probably all saggy and shit. And I don't see that.
Yeah. Yasher says right now other L2s have a huge problem competing with Merlin. It's kind of, they dug their own grave a little bit because they got freaked out by the unnecessary flooding. It's a teensy bit of that might have been necessary, but they got scared and they backed off of the layer 1 Bitcoin assets, and I think they're going to pay dearly for it because now they're probably going to try to catch up soon.
It got flooded because the bridge was late. Like, every dev is late on everything, and we're learning that firsthand dealing with some projects that we're working with. So devs are always late. So be mad at a dev for being late and flooding the project was just ridiculous. But it was a great buying opportunity, and I thank everyone for that.
Yeah, I mean, remember the freaking Ethereum fork, like or the ETH 2.0 or whatever. What was it called back then?
Pushed back for 2 years. Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Tim Madden, can y'all explain NUSD synthetic stables in general, delta neutral position to create yield? Does the model depend on BTC's price appreciating? Yeah. So I would, if I was you, I would go into that GitHub or the Gitbook. Bam.
Can you throw that in the
yeah, I'm gonna put it in the chat right now. So I'm putting it in there. You guys can kind of read how it works. But they do use an algorithm, but I don't think it's an algorithmic stable token or coin based on no collateral, right? Luna was based on the collateral of Luna itself. I know they had some treasury obviously it wasn't enough to save it, from that death tornado or whatever they called it. But this is backed by Athena USD. So I think we really need to figure out how Athena USD collateralizes their stable token. Because if it's not solid, then we got problems. But I'm pretty sure it is. But we'll look at it.
Yeah, I did hear some. I forget his name. The guy he was saying with the prison and stuff. I forget his name, but anyway, he came out and he basically saying how like he trusts Athena way more than Luna because of how it's ran and stuff like that. So
gotcha. All right, let's see. Yeah, this is a good point. Superfan says generative art doesn't have to look so simple, but the efficiency of smaller code inscribed on ordinals have created the simple aesthetic you see. Yeah. I mean, Superfan is expert in generative art. As
sure.
Bitcoin Heroes, go check that out, guys. That's what his project is about. Really cool once that gets entered into these bitmap type metaverse environments or game that I believe they have that will be coming out. We got a meeting after this, Superfan, with the ecosystem that you were part of. So hope to hear some great things coming out of there. Yeah, so there was a conversation between Ishitoshi and Superfan. I won't get all the way into it, but like they're just kind of doing a little discussion based on generative art. And I don't think a lot of people realize that JS React is on chain now, like the library is on chain.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so I mean it's been on chain for a minute. I mean, one thing I will say about like 8-bit is that he did help push initiatives like that. Even though a lot of things like he didn't really follow through with, but like that is one thing that he was a part of, I feel like. And correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I know that he was something that, so I got to give him props for that for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's see any other questions here. Sogol asked, does the Ordinals wallet just need to do a better job on UI and ads? Yeah, I think we all agree, which is so wild to me because like they've had like the most opportunity that they've had this entire time, the past like 6 to 8 months, right? Like whenever they announced that they're listing Tap, all the Tap people got super excited, right? Like, I mean, I know that like I was able to move Tap stuff like on there like pretty significantly, but I just felt like the aesthetics and the UX and stuff is just not, there's so much everywhere. I feel like it's like just cluttered. It just needs to be just simple and straight to the point of how to get to things. You know what I mean? But maybe it's because they have spread across too many things. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I don't know. I just don't think they're really worried about it. They're just make fees and that's it. I think you'll eventually see some UI checks right now, but they're building over there, so I don't know. But that's not going to be where you're trading your Tap tokens in the future. You're going to be trading them on a very Tap centric marketplace. So I think this is just good for now. I don't think they're worried about it, honestly. I don't.
Yeah. I mean, they've definitely made their money. I'm sure, you know, they've been here for, and that is one thing I'll give them too, is that they stayed pretty involved, you know, like Randy and like the UTXO, what was his name? UTXO dev, or I forgot his Twitter name. But anyways, they used to be in spaces a lot, but we used to be in spaces a lot more too. But hey, they've been here. Yeah. But they've been in this space for a while, right? So you got to give them that. Danny Boy says, what's the Ordinal Hive website? Do you know what the Ordinal Hive website is?
Ordinalhive.io, but it's not working yet. You're going to have to give it a little time. You can go to testnet.ordinalhive.io is the testnet. So you can play with that, but it's on Bison, the testnet. There is another one. We're not allowed to give that one out yet. But in the future we will have the testnet for that. But they're going to go live next week, we think. So we'll let you guys know. So
I'll say this about Ordinal Hive. I just put the testnet link in the chat. They have a strong objective. They have a strong objective on, and their plan is solid. And when we heard some of the verbiage they used in their plan, we were just like, whoa, damn, they're going for it. You know what I'm saying? They're going for it. I'll leave it at that, but there's going to be more information coming out. I'll just say that I think that platform is going to be an opportunity platform.
Yeah.
Imagine Blur heading into the bull market, not coming out of a bull market. Right. So that's what how I feel about it. Katie asks, oh wait, I skipped Ichitoshi here. Here's a question: are one of you two going to Amsterdam event in a few months? I'm trying to figure out if cool people are going. Well, thanks for calling us cool.
Yeah.
It's in October.
October. Let's go to the July one first, and then we'll talk about the October one, because we're thinking of a plan in Singapore in September,
Well,
right?
I mean, like I already got my tickets to Singapore, so
yeah. We're gonna talk about thing first, and then potentially Singapore, and then we'll talk about Amsterdam after that.
Yeah, if
we
I
gotta see
go in
Bitcoin's
October,
prices.
yeah, my wife is coming with me to Singapore, but if I go to Amsterdam, it'll probably just be me. If you come, I think that'd be an awesome trip.
It would be a cool trip. Yeah,
that'd be an awesome trip. And I think it's inscribing Amsterdam, and I think there's like a Bitcoin event too or something. That's secondary. No, just kidding. All right, KDN asks, when's the airdrop for Liquidium? Do you have any details on that?
August.
Sir?
I'm here in August. So we'll see.
Yeah, August is the time frame. Makes sense because everybody thinks August is the when the bull market will start.
That's not from the official team. This is just from conversations I've had with people that are close to the team. So I could be wrong, but that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Bob Witt is asking, where'd you get your hat, man? Super cool.
I actually got it on Amazon, I think. So, but yeah, this is it's how it like does that. I don't know why it does that, but I like it. So.
Yeah. Sawgoal says Bamp reminds him of Olympus Dow. Interesting. I
don't see that comparison, but
yeah. Olympus Dow, was that the one that
that's owned?
Okay, so they did the rebasing.
Yeah, that's the fun little Ponzi's that I enjoy.
Indian Trap, what is up, sir? One of our members says, been out of the loop, back in. Is Rothium Mines connected to Rothium Dex? And if so, can we stake our mines for any benefits?
Yeah, so
a bunch of yeses there. Go ahead.
Go to merlinchain.io, use the bridge over those mines to Merlin. You cannot stake them yet, but that's coming within a week or so, maybe 2 weeks at most. You'll be able to stake them on the site and earn Rothium gas. The mines earn the gas. So yes, that is how you get. I think it's like 25% of the supply or something like that, with other stuff coming out of that as well. But it's a good portion of the supply going to the Rothium mine people, which is absolutely amazing and something that I personally pushed for. And so stake them, you'll earn the gas, the Rothium gas, so which is their native token.
Yeah. Dongwon Kim, my Korean brother. He says, thanks for the heads up on the pizza scan. You guys are the best. Yeah, guys, if you got a image saying, go to this website to claim your pizza, do not go to that website. It is a scam. They're not going to give you 1,000 pizza tokens if you didn't claim them for free. So, I'm so happy that you asked, Dongwon Kim, because that would have sucked if you got drained.
Yeah. We don't want any of our guys getting drained, man.
He says, BTC runes are bleeding, and so is my soul. It's so crazy because like runes has gone. My runes portfolio went down about 50%, almost.
Yeah,
almost. In the past couple of days. Well, not the past couple of days. Over the range of like the overall 2-3 weeks ago, it peaked at where it peaked, and then where it is now is about 50% down. So. But I'm okay because the stuff that I'm holding, I know will go back up. Bob Witt says, Shizzy, do you know what these Bendo's XP ordinals are? Thoughts. The art is good. They will airdrop runes.
So I was looking at these last night. So it's funny you say that. They're kind of like computers. They're pretty cool. I actually dig this. I like these a lot. I think these look dope. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about them airdropping anything, but the Bendo's XP sounds awesome. It sounds like a great name. The art's amazing. I don't know. What's the price of these? They're super cheap. 0.0003. Yeah, I'm digging them for sure.
Yeah. Sounds interesting. Dongwon Kim says, I have a question. I read about STH about cash and carry being the reason ETF inflows are not impacting BTC price. Can you maybe explain what this means? I don't know what that means, other than like the only thing I can think of is what you're talking about is like it's being traded on paper and not being held by the actual institutions. There was some talk about that with Coinbase having agreements with like these large institutions.
Bob Lucas said it's all FUD. He said that it's just old. It's just people taking profit. It's just people who held on for the last 4 years from the top at 69,000. They're kind of getting out, and you can kind of see that in the he looks at on-chain data a lot, and we got to get access to that because that's we can use that as a tax write-off too, because that'd be really interesting to kind of get into. It's expensive though. It's a lot of money for those on-chain data. I think the one he uses. What's the one he uses? I can't remember.
I don't know.
But it's a lot of the coins that have been sitting dormant for 4 years have moved recently. So he thinks that it's because of the people who have been holding on finally getting out at the price that they bought in at. So
316 people in here, guys. Y'all always help us end the show very strong. So appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely the one that wears the tinfoil hat more, I think, than you do. But it's hard for me to think that like these institutions like BlackRock and just TradFi institutions aren't like getting their grimy hands on like Brian Armstrong and his team. I don't know. I could go down that crazy rabbit hole, but I'm not going to, because I think I need to have better health, and those kind of things stress me out. But we'll see. Regardless, I think they realize where it's going to go. So like right now, for it to drop, you wouldn't question too much, right? Like if Bitcoin drops, you're just going to be pretty okay with it unless it drops to like crazy levels, right? But in the end, like, once we are in the official like full-on bull market, I think those TradFi companies are going to be celebrating probably with us that like they're making so much money from all these other people. So
yep. And shout out Kai Effect here, guys. My man, thank you so much, my friends. Thanks for covering everything, dude. It's a pleasure of ours, man. Thank you so much. What else we got here? Shout out 626 Rips. He says those are neat looking. He's talking about the Windows XP. Shout out you, man. I was thinking about you, man. I was thinking you should do some crypto games, dude. Like play some stuff and earn some coins and stuff for playing games. There's a lot of game stuff here. So
yeah, 626 Rips. So they do sports cards, I imagine too, because there's a basketball on there.
That's Pokemon.
Oh, it's a Pokemon. Oh, it's a Pokemon.
Yeah. He's mainly Pokemon stuff. I watch his channel. Go check him out, guys. If you're into that kind of stuff, I kind of just watch him play Pokemon games. I used to love that when I was a kid. I haven't played it in years, but it just kind of brings back old memories and stuff from watching people play that stuff. So he rips Pokemon cards open and stuff like that too.
Nice. Yeah. So my family's in collectibles, and my brother's really big in the card industry as well. So they do Pokemon too. Like his daughter.
Is it Charizard's?
Yeah, I'm sure he does. Like his daughter works for his company too, and she's the Pokemon employee that does all the streaming for Pokemon Rips and stuff like that. Awesome. And so, yeah, dude, this is crazy. Like how much like money's in that whole industry. It's crazy. Insane. Like Gary Gensler's like not even paying attention to that at all, only crypto. But I don't want Gary Gensler to pay attention to that because he doesn't have no business.
Go away, Gary.
Business. Yep, exactly. Yeah. Let's see. H touches his base Yagobi with the physics. I love it. Yeah, man. I actually do nerd out a lot outside of this, and probably you guys see it too. Let's see.
John Doe says his cat's breath smells like cat food. So that's pretty.
You're feeding them the right thing. You're feeding them the right thing.
If they smell like McDonald's, I think you'd have a problem.
Or you got some rare cat food. This is funny. Bob Witt says, "Is it time to long BTC on Rollbit?"
I don't know what Rollbit is.
Let's see.
Well, you can long it on surf.io or surf.one. Yeah,
surf.one. Yeah, I think Danny was also talking about dog. Yeah, everybody's been getting wrecked on with trading right now. I just want to see what the short-term time frame looks like right now. Just curious. Oh, yeah, that's still too far to, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't like seeing that. when that comes closer to like clasping, I would feel much more comfortable. But I mean, it has been in this is the 5-minute chart, so I am DJing, guys, just to let you know. But it's much better than using the 1-minute chart. But yeah, I mean, it's been in oversold for since about not that long, an hour. But look at this though, it really didn't even go into the buy pressure, so it's been oversold technically, in my opinion. When I see something like this, I count back to like the beginning part of the oversold like strong area, which is 855. So we're looking at almost 3 hours. So it's coming up, I think. Not financial advice, but maybe here in the next like 30 minutes, 15-30 minutes, we'll see how quickly it starts to bounce back up. But yeah, that could be a good setup there.
Yeah, man. It's wild. One card shop to 1,200, man. You would love ordinals and stuff like that in the gamified sector and stuff like that. You should definitely check out. Hit me up, dude. I'll walk you through how to get some gamified stuff. We can actually earn some ordinals that could go up or stuff like that.
I have the best idea using ordinals, exotic and rare sats in cards, but no one wants to listen to me. I just like, come on, Tops, take a meeting with me. Come on, Panini. I'm just kidding.
Your brother could get you in those rooms, couldn't he?
He could, but like, man, I just like when I talk about it and I realize like, okay, like
no one else.
I don't know. I also don't want to like put pressure on that too, right? Like,
I got you.
So I don't know. We'll see.
Well, yeah, we have 319 people in here, guys, on a Friday. Thank you so much for joining us. We are way past the ordinal after hour, but we're still hanging out with you guys. We do have a meeting in 15 minutes, though, so I don't know if I'll take that into consideration.
Yeah. Bob Witt says, oh, shoot, 15 minutes? All right, we're going to wrap it up here soon then. Top 3 ordinals, runes, BRC20s. Wow, you just asked 9 questions and no, just kidding. But all right, real quick, just fire off. Don't even think about it too long because your first answer is right. What's your top 3 ordinal collection?
No Monkeys, Quantum Cats, OMB, runes, dog. I can't deny bank, and Mr. Yen, and then BRC20s, pizza, or sets. I mean,
I just got so crunk that you said Mr. Yen. Okay, so top 3 ordinals for me is going to be Node Monks. It's going to be I mean, you guys are probably gonna say I'm biased. Not, I don't care. I am frogs. And then,
I knew OMB. I was waiting for it. I was like, he's gonna say frogs first.
And then OMB runes for me is dog for sure. Number 1. Man, I can't deny Bamp either. And I gotta go with my man, Mr. Yen. Always win. Remember that, Mr. Yen always win. And then BRC20s, it's gonna be Ordi Sats and Pizza. That's easy.
Yeah, I think we had the same 3, except for you had frogs and I had cats.
I actually put Merle in the top 3. So I would put, I would put Ordi, Merle, and then Pizza over Sats. Yeah.
I agree with that. I keep forgetting Merle is a BRC20.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna skip over these and go to the bottom and see if there's any questions here. All right, this is a good one. We're gonna end it this way. Dongwoon Kim asks, what will you do with your first million, Shizzy, and also you, Yagobi? So go ahead. Yes, you first.
My first million? Gonna buy more Bitcoin.
Well, wait, hold on. So, like, are you gonna turn it into $1 million in USD and then buy Bitcoin?
I will never, ever, ever have $1 million USD in my entire life. I will have multi-million dollars worth of dollars in Bitcoin, though.
You're gonna have $1 million in USD. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I wouldn't even have that. I would have, I'd rather have 11 Bitcoin and $3,000 in my bank account. That's how I roll, guys.
Yeah.
I don't have that much Bitcoin, but I mean,
yeah. The first thing I would do is first I would be in the most of the same boat. Like obviously I would convert some of that to USD because I would make sure that completely wiped clean, free of debt, which I've been able to chop at a lot of that down. But yeah, just that make sure my family's good in terms of like I'm close to my mom, my brother, and my father. I'm pretty close to as well. But like, especially my mom, because she's pretty disabled. Have her kind of close to me, and then after that, really just focus on growing that. Like, I think me and Shizzy are very aligned with our mentality. It's not, it's such a blessing. I look at like I'm a person of faith, so I do look at that, and it's not. I've been in business before, and even partnered with family, and I've had issues with that, and I love like my family a lot. So to find like a business partner that's like-minded, I think like we would both probably have a similar mindset in terms of growing that, right? Because like you want to be able to leave that for the next generations and stuff. So that's
100%. And like me and Yagobi, we want to open up a building in Texas. We want to open up a studio. We're going to have multiple podcasts, stuff like that. So this is just the beginning for Ordinal Revolution. I think our goal together is to grow Ordinal Revolution into a multi-million-dollar company. And for me, it's like when I buy something, I everything's priced in Bitcoin. So to say I want to buy, like, I bought my wife a computer in December. It took out, the $3,000, and I bought the computer, and then that's how I do it. And then I don't like keep a lot of fiat in my bank account. I only put in what I need for my bills, and that's it. And then I keep it rolling. But our goal is a lot more than what we have right now. Our goal is to build something incredible, build a media company, something like Bankless has. And that's my only goal right now. I'm not into buying things. I'm not a guy. I like being home. That's my favorite thing. But I will, my wife wants to take vacations in the future. So, but that'll be Bitcoin Cash, and then the trip, but everything eventually that we don't spend goes back into Bitcoin.
Yeah. All right. Well, that amazing show today, guys. 325 people. Remember what I said in the beginning of the show on Bitcoin's price for the short term? Do you remember what I said?
65,000.
Yep.
65,000.
So pretty much kind of that short term. But that question, I think this could be a good entry, at least to maybe bounce back to 66, low 66 for short term. Get the heck out though if you're up, guys. Don't be dumb. But yeah, that's it. Please check out our partners, Ordinal Hive, the Blur of Bitcoin. They're going to do huge things on Merlin chain as well as native Bitcoin's layer, fluid tokens. We went over the runes decks today, guys. That thing is starting to really pick up in volume. Add liquidity to that, because there's going to be multipliers for their points for their airdrop later down the road, possibly a collection coming up for that. VDEX is going to be launching soon on Merlin chain. You can bridge over your Verothium mines using merlinchain.io bridge. And then, of course, our guys at Traverse Labs, the #1 security solution for hot wallets, any wallet on Bitcoin, because they have the best steps to be able to stop any wallet draining. I think that's you're going to go over the website.
Yeah, just go check out ordinalrevolution.com. The prices are higher now for the Bitcoin tickets, but you still get 21% off. So if you're thinking about going to Nashville, we will both be in Nashville, so come hang out with us. We'd love to meet you guys. So if you're going to Nashville, get your tickets here. They are a little higher today than they were yesterday. I tried to warn you guys, but now it's too late. So, but I definitely want to see you guys in Nashville, so come join us. And we do have some of the best articles here. Yagobi does an amazing job on this, so check that out, guys. Amazing articles, so many of them now too. And then on top of that, we have our store. Go check out our Bitcoin store. Get all the stuff here, and then we have shirts over here. I'm just knocking a whole bunch of shit over at this point, but you guys can get your Rune Coins shirts and stuff like that. We got a whole bunch of other stuff as well. So go check out our store. Go check out ordinalrevolution.com, and if you just want to help us out, just go to ordinalrevolution.com a few times a day. That helps our stats. We're trying to get those stats up, so just check that out for us. And that's our show. We're live Monday to Friday from 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 7 a.m. Pacific all week next week, guys. So definitely check us out then. We'll have a special guest on Tuesday. Yagobi won't be joining us, but we'll have someone. I can find someone cool to have on that show. But
I'll be there Tuesday, not Thursday.
Tuesday, not Thursday.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
And
we'll see you guys. And
peace.
We OG, or no OG. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to upload, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to upload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Runes is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got friends right now. Yo, PRC 420, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, that shit found fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, lock it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nuki on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me.